courtesy at CaribbeanPot.com. Welcome to my kitchen. Today, boy, you vegetarians are gonna love this one. Fresh out of my garden. Look what I have bubbling away here. Yes, Jamaican Callaloo and Swiss Chard. Canada meets the Caribbean. Guys, if it's your first time you're watching me on YouTube, I think it's below. Click on subscribe. Remember to leave comments. And don't forget to check out CaribbeanPot.com for all this and over 300 Caribbean-inspired recipes. So here we go. Vegetarian dish using Swiss chard, Jamaican Callaloo, or as we call it in Trinidad and Tobago, we call it chorai bhagi. Some people may call it spinach. You're going to love this one. This is the Swiss chard. Yet we're back in the garden again, and we're going to be using ingredients straight out of the garden. This here is the Swiss chard, very similar in texture, shape, and everything else. And some people may even mistake it for pak choy or bok choy. It's a lovely green. You guys are going to enjoy this recipe. And we're also going to be adding some of this lovely Jamaican Callaloo. There's quite a bit of it back here. Some of it is starting to go to flower, so it's imperative that we harvest them now. We're going to pretty much snip those off and toss it out. But there's some more back here as well. So Swiss chard, Jamaican Callaloo. In Trinidad and Tobago, we call it chorai bhagi, or spinach. And to give the dish some color at the end, I've got some lovely cherry tomatoes left here. Hope you guys enjoyed that salad recipe I shared with you guys. But we're going to pick a few of these cherry tomatoes. They are so juicy, just to brighten up this dish at the end. We've got those little cherry tomatoes. We've got the Swiss chard here. And we're going to be using some of the stems and everything. So this is why I picked them along with the stems. And this is the Jamaican Callaloo, or spinach bhagi, chorai bhagi. This is all going inside now to get prepped and cooked. Just take a quick minute to show you guys how you prep the Jamaican Callaloo. And this is a beautiful stem here. And all you would do is pretty much go through it. If there's any sort of these little flowers here, you would remove that, discard that. And this is very tender. This stem here is very tender. If you want, you can certainly peel off any that looks a bit woody. And this is pretty much good to go here. If you have, well, if I had older stalks with the big leaves on there, what I would typically do is remove the leaves, trim off a little bit off the ends, and take these now. And what you would do is grab a whole bunch of them and make sure you wash them really well. All you would do is bunch them up and cut them into about 1/2 inch or so ribbons. It's pretty much the same thing with the Swiss chard. Take off any part that's a bit too woody or thick, and that there, all you would do, wash it. Any sort of places where there's like bad parts of leaves, you would take that out, discard it, and again, all you would do, wash it, put them together, and chop them up into 1/2 inch pieces. Got my pan here on a medium-high heat, and today we're going to be using coconut oil. And it's going to be about a tablespoon or so of coconut oil. If you don't have coconut oil, you can certainly use vegetable oil, or a nice alternative would be olive oil. I just turned my heat down to low because I'm going to add now 1 finely chopped onion, as well as 3 cloves of garlic. I turned my heat down to low because I just want to gently sweat that down to release all those wonderful flavors. As soon as it starts taking on some color and it's gone nice and soft, you should be smelling that garlic and that onion, smelling wicked in the kitchen. I have the trimmed and prepared. It's already washed, the callaloo as well as the Swiss chard, and it will be a lot. It may seem a lot going into the pot, but it will wilt down. So have no fear, it will wilt down, everything will fit in here. Add it in batches, so as soon as it wilts down, you'll add some more. So all I'm doing is adding more, as I said, as it wilts down. Turn your heat up, I forgot, we had it originally on the low setting. Turn it up to about a medium-high to really help this wilt down. Next up, we're going to add 1/4 of a finely chopped scotch bonnet pepper. Remember, no seeds, and be careful when you're handling these peppers. They can cause problems for you if you touch anything after. So do use soap and water immediately after handling these peppers. A generous pinch of black pepper as well as salt. Then the last thing I'll do in here is to add half a cup of coconut milk. I'll then put the lid on there just to let that steam saute. So my heat is going to go down to medium low now and let that go steam saute for about 5 to 6 minutes or so. It's now time to take the lid off it. Give it a good stir, and you'll notice there's a lot of liquid which were naturally released here. So what we want to do, and I don't like this soggy, and here we go, you're going to personalize this dish. You're going to taste it here for salt. If you want to add some more salt, do your thing. The other way we're going to personalize this is by burning off the liquid. If you guys want it a little bit soggy, you can do that. I like it with all the liquid burnt off. So I'm going to turn up my heat now to medium high, lid off, and it's going to take another maybe about 4 minutes to burn off all that liquid. Most of that liquid is already gone. I really don't want to overcook this because it's already been cooking for about 4 or 5 minutes trying to burn off all that liquid. I had a reader write in one time and say, Chris, whenever I eat Jamaican Callaloo, any sort of greens, I always get a sort of itchy feeling in the back of my throat. The key to that, and here's this little tip, a little bit, we're going to finish this off with a little bit of lime juice. Not too much because we don't want it to over sour or get this too tart. But that's going to help with that sort of itchy feeling some of you may have at the back of your throat. And finally, those little tomatoes we picked in the backyard, we're just going to finish it up here. And that is totally optional. That's just to brighten this thing up. Give that a quick stir. Turn off the heat. The residual heat will burn off any excess liquid on the bottom of the pan. Remember, earlier we said check for salt, because I mean, it's your tolerance for salt will be different than mine. Chris here, CaribbeanPot.com, guys. Give this Callaloo / Swiss Chard recipe a try. You're gonna love it, man. Always a pleasure to have you here in the kitchen. And until Friday, we'll, get cooking, man.